Hello, it's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I'm here to give you this week's energy forecast. Happy Samhain and the beginning of the Celtic New Year. I had an amazing time celebrating this new year in the tradition that my ancestors would have and within the lineage of the Druidess, where we step into a brand new year with the descent first. Now, isn't that the very beginning of any hero or heroine's journey that we begin to fall into the descent? And so, with that in mind, we're going to go through this forecast feeling the energies that's coming with this super moon that we've got coming in Taurus. So, if you're Taurian like me, you're going to feel this one extra hard. So, yeah, I mean, the energies have been pretty crazy as per usual. And people have been saying to me on a daily basis, what is going on? Everything feels super tough and it feels very chaotic. Chaos is actually a really good sign. It doesn't feel like it, does it? But it's true. Chaos really allows order. There is no order without chaos. Chaos brings a movement, a lifting, a shedding, a realization. It just brings something for us to be able to see the very things that aren't going right for us, the very things that need changing, what we need to like look at. And November's all about that as well. November is about realignment. It's a realignment month. So we're in really good territory to be doing all this work that is being asked of us in the energies. So yeah, as I always say, really try to look at it as a positive thing rather than something that's trying to like do you harm or not serve you, because that's not true. These things are really trying to help us, really trying to help us on a deep level. So let's start about this Taurus new moon that's happening. It's the Taurus super moon that's coming is really about, sorry, it's a full moon, is really about anything that kind of happened in April, we're going to see some closure to. It's going to bring us round into that cumulative circle. So I want you to think back in April, what was coming up for you then and what might be coming up for you now that really wants to be looked at. This is about trying to find nourishment and stability. Taurian energy is abundance, stability, nourishment, likes to find things in life. It likes to be secure and cared for. And this is a deep call to yourself, actually, about really feeling the places where you have no energy. If there's no energy, everybody's been complaining about that, then rest. Take the rest, listen to the body. What does the body need? Do things that are nurturing, like going for a walk, reading a book on the sofa with the stove on. Those things that will help alleviate you in your stress and will help you gain energy. But we're coming into a time where rest is more needed. The chaos that I spoke about is really trying to home in on your essential needs. It's trying to ask you what what is it that your needs need? What do you need? What is it you are craving? It could be linked to security. And please know that when we do the descent, when we go in this time, it's really about the security within you. Like where can you offer yourself more security? And you can look at aspects of that through maybe your relating or food or financial aspects. What do you need? What would make you feel secure? And that will bring you reassurance and some healing. So it's a time to address those things like not having enough, not having enough money, not dealing with your your finances or the problems in your relationship. It's super important to look at it through that lens. I really suggest that you just spend some time thinking about like what's chaotic in my life and how could I change that. The whole thing is also really being affected by Mars being in opposition to Taurus as well. So with Mars being in opposition to Taurus, we've got it transitioning through Scorpio as well, and it's a potent period that happens up until the 4th, like tomorrow. and we're going to be have that emotional depth. You're going to be feeling about how you reclaim your power. Especially for the feminine, this is invited us into feeling what lies beneath the current, what is wanting to meet us, what have we hidden, what raw energies want to come up. It's not about descending and collapsing, it's about coming alive in the darkness. It's about finding the very transition that's going to pull you out. So we can expect surges of intensity, deep desires awakening in our body, maybe power dynamics between people surface too. So it's about excavating, try not to lash out here, but to realize that there's wounds that want to be seen, they want to be healed, they want to be brought up into this energy. This midweek space is when Mercury will be in Sagittarius, sorry. So it's infusing your speech. It's about knowing what perspectives you're looking at things from. And the mind will want to start to bridge things between the depth you're in at the moment and what that means for your future. So you have to name what you're holding. You have to bring up from the bottom. This is what I've been going through, and this is what needs to be reframed. I am not going to keep suffering in the same ways. I need to make changes so that I can move forward. So for me, next year is not going to be a year on the computer like it has been this year for me in the course writing. I know that I need to make changes to be more hands-on in the work. So really just making it like really loud like that and then beginning to act from that place. Embodied knowing. It's not theory, it's a deep internal knowing. We've also got like what I love to look at specifically is Venus as well, with that being a deep feminine planet, and Venus is still in Libra. So this is just about holding the feminine grace, relational balance, beauty, receptivity, harmony. And we're going to feel that what we're shifting from is this field of grace into a deeper plunge. So the inner descent, your relational presence, a softening, a tuning in, a listening, a receiving, love in the ordinary. It's the calm space will turn. It will take us into boundaries, attunements, those kinds of things. So it really is falling into what we've avoided, but what's been absolutely punishing us or sending us into chaos, and reclaiming that power. It's also the voice. Mercury in Sagittarius is about the story that wants to come through us. What story wants to come through you? What have you been hiding? And balance, practice balancing, giving and receiving. You know, anything that's out of balance, any behaviors, or being too indulgent, balancing that with kind of less indulgence, and then we've got like simplicities, and then all of anything you can think of in your life which is currently out of balance, trying to bring it into balance. And that's going to be really, really key. All of this is really about bringing positive relationship with the self, feeling supported by yourself, and bringing into all of the things that you have been wanting to do, bringing them into the forefront and saying, okay, I'm not going to hide from this anymore. This is a realignment, and I really need to realign myself, know what it is that wants realigning, and then take the actions to do that. That's this week in a summary. And so it's going to take some introspection. Again, you need to make space. You need to use that moon energy to feel space, spaciousness, a descent into the self, so that you can bring up these things to work with. We can't help but feel the dark feminine in this space. The moon is the shadow, it's the dark. And the fullness of this moon is asking you for a deep descent into the self. So if you're brave enough, if you're strong enough, if you hold that femme noir, you go into that femme noir, go into the place where you're not doing your life or yourself justice. The things happening this week in my work are there is the beginning of the Druidess training that is still open for anyone to join. There is a 2-hour recorded class that's ready to view, and the workbook that you start to work through this wheel. And that is potent teacher training, and very much needed in the world where we need to live more in ceremony and harmony of nature and with our spiritual prowess. So if you feel called to join us, then there will be a link underneath this sharing all the details about the Druidess training. And a big shout out to those people that came to me with some ideas for hosting me in retreats across the world. There are some really exciting things in the pipeline for regards to holding retreat space. So if you've got any ideas and you're someone with a space, reach out, because I'm open to doing quite a lot of travel next year, and really, really looking forward to meeting a lot of you who have worked with me on my online courses in the flesh. So take care this week. Feel the aftermath of that Samhain energy calling you under, calling you in, asking you to be reflective, really mulching over the year that's gone by and what needs to move.